I'm Lady Truth. I received a letter from my childhood friend Anna. It's about her going to the Lone Moon Girls' School study. Her alias at school is Encore. It is none of my business. Wow. In the third letter she started to write my English name Truth. Who are you? She said she really likes a love tragedy called Night of the Lone Moon, that legend's inspiration for their work stemmed from the castle of where the school is. When the strings sound out, the destined will uncover the door of moonbeams. From the castle's highest, they will arrive treading on the moon. Shut the fuck up. And then I look back at my childhood photo. Ah, shit, I think I'm suffering from face blindness. Why do I only recognize Mr. Inference, but don't recognize Anna?
Calm down, Lady Truth. It seems that I have a special place in your heart. I'm so happy.
Alright, I received a damn boring letter from Hebe. She is Encore's roommate. Her parents adopted Encore and sent them to Lone Moon Girls' School study together. Her body is fragile, so she needs Encore to take care of her, but recently, Hebe is not sure whether Encore was driven by love or curse that caused Encore went mad. Schoolmistress is their temporary guardian and decided to send Encore to an asylum. How horrible it is, there is something I'm more familiar with than her. Damn you, could you stop talking about my childhood painful memories? She was able to request for personal maid, called me disguised as a personal maid to infiltrate the school for rescuing Encore. Damn it, can I refuse? However, Mr. Inference also received an invitation from DM Go to Melodious date, attend a masquerade ball, and I'm going to that damn Lone Moon Girls' School. I really envy Mr. Inference. You can go to masquerade ball, rock and roll.
Be good, Lady Truth. I guess there will be murder incident happened. It's too dangerous. I'll be worried if you go handle it alone.
Alright, after that, I henshin become a personal maid. Convenient for me infiltrate school later.
Wow, change costume, dye hair, and wear colored contact lenses.
I have no choice. I need to be a spy in Lone Moon Girls' School.
Be careful on the road. If you are being bullied, then I help you smash that guy.
Okay, then I came to this damn Lone Moon Girls' School. I'm at 8 feet human and a pussy.
Yo, welcome to Haunted Castle. Oops, sorry, Lone Moon Castle. I'm schoolmistress. I allow you to stay here and take care of Hebe. However, you must obey the school rules. I hope you won't cause us any additional problems.
It's very troublesome. I was just playing devil's advocate.
Number 1, within the school, identities do not define you. Your name is an alias. Number 2, with others, you must call them by their alias or nickname. Number 3, no absences without reason are permitted. Number 4, a supply boat will visit the school every Friday. Students are permitted to send letters and items during this time. Number 5, you may not leave the school alone. Number 6, after 10 p.m., you may not leave the main activity area.
I like burn the midnight oil.
Number 7, you are not permitted to enter areas which have not been fully developed. Alone includes main tower, side towers, dungeon areas.
I like go there play around.
Number 8, students may not keep pets.
Fuck you, what are you holding?
Number 9, students are not permitted to become too close with their teachers.
I have Mr. Inference protect me enough.
Ah, yes.
Do you understand?
I understand. Please take me to the reading room and wait for Hebe. Schoolmistress sent me to the reading room. Professor of literature will come to teach literature. I started busybody to look for clues and truth everywhere. I saw a painting book that seems to be relatively old. It introduces a female painter from the Joseon family of aristocrats, and contains a few paintings of her done by other artists. In the paintings, she appears as a golden-haired woman with a frail build, often wearing a mask. There's also a few toolbooks introducing her art style and technique, and there was a Narcissus illustration stamp on the title page. There are many precious works of literature books on the bookshelf, books about the arts such as music, visual arts, sculpting. Those books have the exact same Narcissus illustration stamp on the title page. I came to the professor of literature's table. Drafts of a tale named Night of the Lone Moon were displayed on the table. I saw a crumpled up ball of scrap paper. I play with fire, go to open and see, and again that damn long content when the strings sound out blah blah blah, and the word uncover is circle. Shut the fuck up.
Don't touch my private study. Who are you?
Hello, professor of literature. I'm Hebe's personal maid. I just arrived today. I'm a huge fan of your works, not really, and really interested in the tale of the Night of the Lone Moon. Can you tell me about it?
The tale of the Night of the Lone Moon has two versions. Version 1 is romantic tale. Version 2 is suspense tale. Version 1 romantic tale. The king's knight fell in love with the princess of a former dynasty, of whom he was tasked care for. Yet, this love could not be accepted by the people. The king's knight decided to abandon honor, glory, and his title, in order to secretly marry the princess. But the night before the wedding, the princess already knew the knight's sacrifices made to marry her. From her tower of confinement, she jumped, ending her own life. The knight who had just hurried over clutched the princess's dead body and cried. He organized a funeral for his princess himself, pushing away all who tried to help. Later, the knight locked the tower and prohibited others from entering. Every day stay there emo. At one night, he played that noisy violin song. The knight still didn't come down for a long time. Day 2, his worried butler go to the tower find the knight. The knight is missing. The frightened maids and butlers find for the knight everywhere. Finally, fishing his dead body out from the lake. From then on, the tower's legend lingered. On the night of the full moon, when the strings sound out, the knight will search for his long-lost love. That is what you called Haunted Castle Incident.
Oh, I see. By the way, that underwear man, oops sorry, Crescent Knight, he has a killer legs, so sexy. Sure enough, he always walk in the forefront of fashion.
Say again, Lady Truth.
Sorry, Inference Onichan.
Version 2 suspense tale. The suspense tale follows right after the romantic tale. After the knight's death, the people emptied out this ancient castle. But two things could not be found. One was the princess's family heirloom, the other was the knight's violin. Some say they were hidden by the knight. Some say it was the princess's missing maid who took them. People find them for a long time and still couldn't find them. The 8 friends of the knight said, whoever finds these two things, they will give away to rightful owner. Rumor that family heirloom was a large blue gemstone. Every generation of the Shosen family has the right to wear it. Then, the only clue was that knight's personal butler found the knight's suicide note in the tower. When the strings sound out, I'm lazy to read. It's time to take a break. Chat with you next time.
Okay.
Hi Truth.
Hi Hebe.
I'm happy you could come. Thank you, Talia, dropping me off here enough.
Okay, bye.
Time is an issue. What can I do for you?
Can you tell me about that damn Lone Moon Girls' School and Anna?
Okay, it's my showtime. 10 years ago, Melody's family turned the Lone Moon Castle into the Lone Moon Girls' School. The Lone Moon Castle was previously the property of the Chausen family. Then, it was passed into the hands of the Melody's family. The current Lone Moon Girls' School was sponsored by the Melody's family.
Sure enough, DM is a billionaire.
Ah, yes?
Yes, I mean you, Desire Melodis.
And please remember, don't say Anna here, just call her alias Encore. We typically address each other with our aliases. Due to the school's founder's insistent nature, those names endowed to our identities are but a symbol, a mark. Encore enrolled in this school with me. She is damn intelligent, also damn large variety of interests. Before that incident happened, all of the teachers loved her.
That incident? What is that? I'm curious, baby. I want to know the truth.
One night, Encore is dating with fine arts teaching assistant in the tower. Pleasant hours fly past. Cleo accidentally stumbled across. Wait a second. Isn't Cleo blind? How did she see them dating? Damn it. Students are not permitted to become too close with their teachers, but because the fine arts teaching assistant voluntarily resigned, professor of literature and I vouched for Encore, then she was able to stay. I'm not sure what caused Encore went mad. Around halfway through last month, the school mistress found Encore sat on the sofa in tower and gazing at the moon outside in a daze. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. The school mistress tried to get this lunatic to leave, but once this lunatic leave from the tower, this lunatic would constantly screech out loud. Then she starts to sing Michael Jackson's song, so just leave me alone, stop it. Just stop dogging me around. The school mistress had no choice and but to lock this lunatic in the tower, and have the school staff noise keep an eye on this lunatic. The school mistress planned to send this lunatic to an asylum next month. Recently, this lunatic's behavior was rather abnormal. Since the fine arts teaching assistant left, every midnight, This lunatic likes to read Lone Moon's tale in the tower.
This tale damn boring for me.
Some say she was emotionally scarred. Some say it's the Lone Moon Castle's curse.
Curse?
For the specific you can ask Professor of Literature. He would often chat with Encore about Lone Moon's tale. You can look around, but remember to return before dark. If the school mistress catches you, I'll receive warning letter. 3 warning letters and you'll be terminated from the school.
I like play with fire.
Ah, shit, I forgot to bring my sketch. Could you please go to Narcissus's art studio and fetch my sketch for me?
Okay, no problem. You just treat me as an unpaid worker. Hello, I'm Detective Lady Truth. Damn you, I recognize the direction as I walk. I saw a man noise with a hot-tempered than Mr. Inference, guarding the tower.
Is this a compliment to me?
I came to the art studio. Professor of Fine Arts Narcissus will come here to teach painting. It seems to me that painter equipped triple talent great power. That must be an illusion. Remember to equip triple talent great power when using painter in the rank match. Oops, sorry. I put the wrong channel. His name is Narcissus. He is a professor of fine arts. He wears a flamboyant outfit fit for court nobles. He looks as if he had walked straight out of a painting. He looks quite young, but considering this is a girls' school, oh hell no, why is he prettier than me? For my part, my detective Mr. Inference looks manly.
Yes.
Narcissus-sensei.
Are you a new student? After all, I've told the girls not to call me sensei.
Sorry, I'm Hebe's personal maid who just arrived.
Even he said if names are just symbols, but it seems special privileges are still granted.
Encore isn't here, so I become an unpaid worker to take care of Hebe.
You don't look like Encore at all. Fine, let's change the subject. Are you here to retrieve Hebe's painting? Has she finished drafting her new piece?
Goodness knows. She only asked me to take the painting.
Her last draft is there. I hope she can swiftly find the inspiration to continue.
Okay, thank you teacher. Oops, sorry. Thank you Narcissus. By the way, in this painting she looks like Narcissus. What is the relationship between these two people?
Thank you, Truth.
Hebe, who is the person in this painting?
This is a replica of that princess's painting.
It seems that everyone seemed to be hiding something. I just quietly watching you pretend to force. Then how about the landscape painting in the art studio?
That painting was replicated by Narcissus. The original piece is in the tower. After the knight's death, the people found that landscape painting and princess's portrait in the tower.
Why couldn't he just take the original piece down from the tower?
The Melodies family doesn't allow anyone to touch anything, as to preserve the tower's original state.
Are the two paintings classics?
The landscape painting, by deduction, was painted by the princess. She was extremely talented in the visual arts, but I prefer the princess's portrait.
Why?
It's a secret.
Damn it.
By the way, that landscape painting is interesting as well. If you shine light onto it, the moon will be different.
A strange landscape painting, a princess's portrait, and all riddles point to the tower. Is there any way go to the tower to see Encore?
That lunatic is being guarded by the school staff now, for safety. School mistress are not allowed us to go there. Cleo are permitted to go there.
Cleo?
She is our classmate. She's on good terms with Encore. She was the one who helped settle things when Encore's ailments began to plague her, so the school mistress let her visit Encore once per week. Due to this,
Dalme Downey, I must go there busybody. Maybe I can look for a chance to ask the Cleo she mentioned for help. Pleasant hours fly past and it chose to disappear at this time. Cleo is pointing at the painting hung on the wall and saying she saw Anna walk into the painting. Are you kidding with me? She is blind. How did she see Anna walking into the painting? Can I investigate the tower?
No. All of you return to your bedroom and sleep. Everything will be put on hold until daybreak.
Damn it, you really look down upon me. I will find out the truth myself. The next afternoon, the school mistress asked us to meet in the reading room, to clarify the situation.
We've already had Mr. Noyce call the police, of whom will arrive in 3 days. The situation will be resolved quickly, and we'll also settle things with Hebe's family.
Is this person reliable?
That's all for today.
What happened?
Hebe, I'd like to speak with you privately.
Okay, Truth, wait for me.
After the school mistress escorted her outside, I started busybody again to look for other clues everywhere. I saw that name card on the desk next to Hebe's marked Cleo's. There are mostly book written in Braille on the desk. Sure enough, Cleo is blind. When I approached the bookshelf, I could almost hear a conversation between Professor of Literature and Talia in the corner.
Teacher. That curse, Cleo said. She also heard the music from a violin last night. Anna also said.
Talia, it's just a legend.
And as I was planning to leave as well. Ah, shit, I accidentally bumped into the desk. Ah, it hurts.
Lady Truth, are you okay?
Eavesdropping on others is not ladylike.
Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. Hebe asked me to wait for her in here, and so I had nowhere else to go. Both of you speak so loudly. I'm not deaf. May I ask you about what the curse is all about?
It seems you're very interested in this story.
Not really.
It's the same story I told you last time, finding souls. Legend says the souls will be taken away from people. The castle has been here for many years, but every owner of the castle has experienced a person going missing or mad, and so the legend was formed, of how the Night of the Lone Moon's vengeful spirit would take away the souls of others.
First Anna. Then Cleo. Indeed strange.
Don't overthink it. It's just a legend. Just wait for Noise to return with the police, and perhaps everything will be cleared up.
Noise is?
He's a member of the school staff, who has tasked with looking after Encore, and he was also the first one who found Cleo. He went to town to contact the police and the Melody's family. He'll be back tomorrow.
The truth may not be what it seems. Everyone is under suspicion. Things were not as simple as I imagined. I bet he won't come back again.
If you find the Lone Moon Castle story that interesting, you can go to my desk and flip through the Lone Moon history books. It's all official documents about Lone Moon Castle.
Okay. Investigate the tower while there's nobody guarding the tower now. The police will arrive tomorrow, which would complicate things. I came back to the tower again. Usually, the function of the towers in old castles are used as prisons. But this one seems somewhat different, as if it were specially renovated to serve as a girl's room. When I walked to the left to investigate, the landscape painting on the left should be the original painting Narcissus was copying. I found something strange about this painting. The moon in the painting is large, but the moon reflected on the water's surface is small. The windowsill is rather high. Are you bullying me for being short?
Me 170 centimeters.
Me 182 centimeters.
Shut the fuck up. When I walked to the right to investigate, it's a portrait of a lavishly dressed woman. The wallpaper's flowery patterns seem ancient, looks like from the previous time period. It's rather old, and there are some yellow stains. Okay, investigation completed. Fuck my life. What a coincidence. When I was about to leave, I heard footsteps coming from the stairway. Where should I hide? I hide to the underneath of sofa. Okay, you can come in. I saw a person wearing damn cute red satin shoes walk into the tower. He is Professor of Fine Arts Narcissus. He stood in the middle of the room, facing towards the window for a long period of time. Then he walked out, climbed onto the table. I can't see clearly, and then I only heard the sound of something moving. The light within the tower suddenly dimmed. Underneath the portrait, an area on the wall light up.
Wow, fantastic baby. So, it was like this, after all.
I heard him mumble. Then, another wave of moving noises filled the room and light flooded into the tower once more. After that, Narcissus left from the tower.
Boilinati.
Finally, I can walk out from my hiding spot. So tired, it's getting late, and I had dallied for too long. Hebe and the schoolmistress had most likely returned to the reading room. I had to get there first. Fortunately, I arrived early. I go to investigate the Professor of Literature's desk first. This is what the Professor of Literature said before about the local history book. It's not like the romantic tale that he said before. The rise and fall of empires built on this plot of land are all recorded here. According to what this local history book says, there used to be a wealthy small kingdom here, led by a family named Joseon. 9 families of knights pledged loyalty to this family. The final heir to the Joseon family was a cruel king. People and 8 families of knights are upset with him for a long time. Due to this, revolutions began. On the final night, 8 knights conspired together to open the docks. The cruel king was overthrown by the rebels from the boats entering from the docks of the kingdom. Luckily, or unluckily, the cruel king had no male heir, only had a princess. Due to this, the leader of rebellion rightfully became the next king. Leader of rebellion just wanted to execute the former king with blood-stained hands. His daughter was not harmed. Instead, he promised her hand in marriage to a knight. But the princess jumped from her tower and committed suicide before the wedding. Soon after, the knight also met a dreary end. Shortly after forcing down a small rebellion, the new king realized that the princess not only refused to reciprocate his merciful sparing of her life, but had also gathered rebel troops in secret. What everyone found strange was that on the day of the rebellion, the rebels didn't wait for the princess's arrival, but instead awaited for the news of her death. After hearing what had happened, they disbanded out of fear and quickly disappeared. Why do I think there is still a problem with the story?
Please take care of her.
Okay. Hebe, what's wrong? Your mood seemed down.
Schoolmistress said that they think Encore committed suicide. Cleo was in shock of what had happened, which is why she said something so strange.
Though I don't believe Encore would suicide, but I do believe that Cleo's description has a fatal flaw. Bullshit. Isn't this a Braille book?
Apparently she's blind, and can't see things other than light clearly.
So she can't have seen Encore walk into the painting.
What the fuck, she's lying.
Perhaps I should ask her myself.
Then you'll need to wait until tomorrow. She's the only eyewitness of Encore's disappearance. Noyce brought her to town.
It feels like Cleo seemed to be hiding something. Dusk fell as I sent Hebe back to her bedroom and sneaked out after everyone fell asleep. But someone was a step ahead of me. I saw Narcissus enter the tower from its staircase before I did. I waited in the dark, but even until late in the night, I never saw him come back down. So I decided to go there busybody to investigate the tower myself. Betting it all in a single push, I burst into the tower room. All my eyes could see was the room, illuminated by moonlight. I could hear the sound of whistling. Narcissus, he's gone. Fuck, I want to get out from this damn lone moon girls' school too. The day after, when the schoolmistress called us to the art studio, we assumed the police had arrived, but they were not here, and even Noyce hadn't returned. However, Cleo was escorted back by the town's medical personnel. See, Mr. Inference, I said Noyce would never come back again. I won the bet this time. Let me pick for the next cases.
I didn't bet with you at all. Forget it, whatever.
At the same time, there was also Narcissus, who had disappeared mysteriously. The schoolmistress searched both their bedrooms and found that their items of importance had been taken away. Narcissus.
Hey, don't tell them now. Have you forgotten? Leaving your quarters at night is against the school rules. And have you forgotten what happened to Encore and Cleo? They'll think you've gone insane too.
Okay.
Schoolmistress, please allow me took the ferry go to town, call the police. I'll be right back.
Okay. That's all for today.
Schoolmistress, could you let my personal maid accompany me to the tower mourn for Encore?
No problem, go.
I believe Encore's still alive. You are so fucking heavy.
Why?
Narcissus and Noyce. She would have somehow escaped like Narcissus did. After all, nobody would suicide and take their belongings with them.
But how would they escape from this tower?
Perhaps I could try doing what Narcissus did. I look outside. On the cliff facing the tower there was a lighthouse. I try to change position of landscape painting. It's magic, walking over and investigating. I didn't find anything unusual.
Found anything?
For I saw what Narcissus had saw, but I couldn't find the answer he found. There's so many clues, yet I didn't have an opportunity to piece them together. The only new information I could gather was that there was a lighthouse in the distance. Do long journey ships come by often?
No, as the lighthouse has been around for a few hundred years. It was built in memorial for a great English monarch who overthrew the former cruel king's reign, and has been preserved since. Every year, on the day the victorious rebellion troops entered the docks, the lighthouse would light up for 3 days straight. This was referred to as the Moonbeam of Hope.
The English monarch and cruel king seem to have appeared in a real story before. You mean, the one who overthrew the Lone Moon Castle princess's father?
That's right. By the way, the Moonbeam of Hope was coincidentally the day before yesterday.
And also the day Encore disappeared. Day 1, when it lit up, is Encore disappeared. Day 2 is Narcissus disappeared. Day 3 is tonight. I suppose I'll have to find a chance to busybody tonight.
Alright, if what you say is true, then I'm at ease. But you mentioned a boat, and I thought of a question. They only disappeared from the tower, but how did they leave the island?
but you can't leave this place whenever you want. The ships leaving the island all have assigned departure dates, and the docks will be closed on other days.
That's right, the final departure date this month is next week. They can't hide for that long.
Your words seem to enlighten me, but on the second day of Encore and Narcissus's disappearance, the docks were open. Oh shit. One of them even left of their own accord, which is Professor of Literature. Noise and Encore seem to have planned in advance. But how about the Professor of Literature? Did Narcissus know that someone would have to leave the island if someone had gone missing? Or was he an accomplice? Alright, it's evening now. The Professor of Literature had returned, and brought the police with him. The schoolmistress let me accompany Hebe to the tower, serving as Anna's legal family member.
Noyce didn't report the situation to the police as he was supposed to, and it was found that he had a criminal record. Following this logic, we deduced that Noyce had killed Encore, and with his accomplice Cleo, we have to arrest Cleo and go to town.
This is absolutely preposterous.
Please don't.
Mr. Police, please wait. Encore is not the only one who disappeared here out of thin air. That night, Narcissus also the one who disappeared here out of thin air.
For sure Narcissus. Narcissus also walked into the painting.
Calm down, Cleo. Think back carefully about what you saw and heard that day. Maybe it's just the fear of losing freedom.
That day, I get the permission from schoolmistress, go to hear chat with Encore. Encore has been very calm, and even talked to me about her childhood. However, there may be too many classes that day, I was too tired and fell asleep in a daze. I looked up and saw the painting glowing, then Encore walked into the light.
Am I listening the nonsense? This seems to be no different from what I eavesdropped on from Talia and the Professor of Literature, but at this moment, with the long sound of whistle after another, the lighthouse outside the window lights up. A strong beam of light through the window spilled in, illuminating the portrait. I'm going to read that damn long content again. When the strings sound out, the destined will uncover the door of moonbeams. From the castle's highest, they will arrive treading on the moon. Professor, the sound of strings refers to the whistle, right?
That's true. The whistle that cuts all fate is described as such a lingering sentence. Every time I see it, I have to sigh that the princess is also elegant.
So there is no violin sound at all, and there is no haunted incident here. Hear the whistle as a violin? It seems that you guys have a big problem with your ears. It's time for you guys to take medicine. Schoolmistress, has the layout of this room ever changed?
Other than the maintenance and replacement of some of the interiors, the walls, layout, furniture, and furnishings are all identical to when the princess lived here. This was requested by the Modus family.
The castle painted in that painting differs from the castle now. The biggest secret in this room is probably the one that has to do with the portrait. When the princess lived here, there was a window on the right side of the sofa. After that, the window is now hidden for some unknown reason. In my opinion, uncover the door of moonbeams refers to the hidden window. Once we found that opening, perhaps there would be an answer found as well.
Do you know the answer?
His expression did not seem curious at all, more like the expression of a teacher who had thrown a question out to his students. I guess it is. The sound of strings and moonlight are the answers. As you said, the string of destined is modification, but moonlight is indeed moonlight. And moonlight. Okay, it's my show time. Mr. Police, please remove the painting and inspect the area on the wall where the light shines. As I expected, there was a loose tile for you to press it, revealing a space large enough to fit a person, and beneath were the docks. On the windowsill, a vintage violin case silently lay.
The violin from the legend. Fuck, it is empty. And our Narcissus was the thief. We must arrest them.
Wait a second, no matter who took the violin, there's no need to chase them down for theft, right, Professor of Literature?
The heir doesn't want the treasure. Yes, all the knights want is to know how the story ended. As for these two items, they've already returned to their rightful owners.
We do not accept your argument. You couldn't speak in the name of the knights.
No, I can.
Narcissus-shaped brooch penned, the exact same design as the one on the violin case.
Is this not the promise made by my family, schoolmistress, of the Melodies family?
Yes.
I came to a sudden realization about that Narcissus-shaped pattern. It belonged to the former master of the castle, and what she protected, was the oath of the traitors. The case was closed and the police left the next day. They posted wanted posters for Noise and missing person notices for Encore, and as Narcissus was an adult and left out of free will, they didn't look for him. I decided to leave from this damn Lone Moon girls' school as well. I found Hebe in the art studio. I want to say bye-bye to her. She was focused on copying that portrait. I told her why I came, and she took it rather well. I'm going to left the Lone Moon girls' school, and embarked on my journey to find Anna, but Hebe's last words to me when I left the art studio continue to echo in my mind.
They all say the princess was an artistic prodigy, but in terms of skill level, I think this portrait painted by an unknown artist demonstrates more artistic skill.
Please talk human language.
She looks brighter and more naive than any princess I've read about from the history books. Or, perhaps, others will always understand us better than we understand ourselves. What do you think, Truth?
Why do I think Hebe is Anna? Is it possible for two people to exchange identities? Perhaps. She just wants me to stay with her for a few more days. Just say if you want to skip class. Pattern more than badminton. Afterwards, I investigated a case of theft which caused me to develop a brave inference about Hebe's painting. I couldn't resist the curiosity, and wrote a letter to the professor of literature, and stated my theory within its contents. This time, he asked me to make a decision, and according to the choice I made he would answer my question in his next letter.
Do you prefer an unfortunate comedy or a joyful tragedy?
Children only make choices, I want them all. Okay, I received reply letters from the professor of literature. One is Eternal Night, the another one is Night of Forked Road. Okay, it's my show time. Eternal Night is about the female knight is writing letter to the prince. In the real background story of the Night of the Lone Moon, the princess is the prince Narcissus, the knight is the female knight. Wow. Narcissus is a prince. I called him sensei before. My status is so humble. The cruel king want to protect the prince who loves painting and has a kind heart. He commanded the female knight
Your
disguised
Highness.
as a princess. Dad is the best in the world. The female knight feels fuck you. I'm not good at painting. The female
I
knight
teach
tried
you.
her best
I will
disguised
try my
as a
best.
princess looks. Then the cruel king
Your
claimed that he
Highness.
had no male heir, only had a princess. When the prince's father issued those decrees, they all knew, the lone moon can no longer light up the long night. The prince's father will be overthrown by the rebels. The female knight knew she could no longer protect the prince. She chose to continue pledge loyalty to the Joseon family and reinstatement for the prince, and make two choices for the prince. First choice, the prince can give blue gemstone to the guardsman, remove the mask, and he will confirm the prince's identity, and accompany the prince to Lord Milatus to assist the prince in the prince's father's plan. Second choice, the prince can keep silent, and he will send the prince to the female knight's cousin's home. Her cousin's name is Ami. The female knight only met her cousin when she was young, but she has kept a close correspondence with him all the time. The female knight as a knight family. In the female knight's cousin's eyes, the little master loves painting, is full of fantasy, has a little conceit, but his heart is kind-hearted. As the prince knows she is not good at painting, but at least she tried to paint a believable enough picture of the prince. From then now, the prince can start this identity truly belongs to the prince's life. Are you sure you are not good at painting? Are you kidding with me? The female knight said, my dear highness,
Please
I
don't.
hope that whatever choice you make, you will look upon all people with compassion. Everyone should have the right to choose whether to stay in the dark night or go to the next light, including yourself. Finally, I wish you all the best in the rest of your life. Your Eternal Night. Night of Forked Road is about the female knight is writing letter to her friend the knight. The Night of Forked Road follows right after the Eternal Night. Previously the female knight and the knight are the good friends, because of their different stand. The female knight chose to pledge loyalty to the Joseon family and protect the prince Narcissus. But the knight chose to betray the Joseon family and help the rebels to overthrow the cruel king instead. Since the knight cannot reach the consensus with Milatus, and they cannot reconcile with each other, the knight family has a common oath which are righteousness, courage, and loyalty. The knight chose righteousness, other knights chose courage, the female knight chose loyalty. The female knight has no choice. After all, the identity of princess has been with her for half her life, and he has already become her half body. At this moment, The cruel king was overthrown by the rebels. The rebels didn't know the cruel king had male heir. He thought the cruel king only had a princess. Due to this, the leader of rebellion rightfully became the next king. The rebels didn't kill the cruel king's daughter. Instead, he promised her hand in marriage to the knight. The night before wedding, she was outnumbered. The female knight knew she can't look back. The female knight completed her final mission before committing suicide. She also told the knight, please keep this secret. All she wishes the prince Narcissus to live happily. Your best friend forever. From the female knight tower of confinement, she jumped, ending her own life. The knight who had just hurried over clutched the female knight's dead body and cried. The knight didn't let others know this secret. He still think of their friendship to keep the last oath. He organized a funeral for the female knight himself, pushing away all who tried to help. After the female knight died, the knight was depressed every day. The knight played the female knight's favorite violin song during her lifetime before committing suicide. Eventually, the knight also met a dreary end. Let everything about the female knight sink to the bottom of the lake of Lone Moon. Therefore, the knight becomes the water ghost. Oops, sorry, the Crescent Knight. On the night of the full moon, when the strings sound out, the knight will search for his long-lost love. Such heart-tormenting story.
By the way, did you find Anna?
I found her. Hebe and Anna are just exchanging identities. What does the monstrous bird mean when she says she is the doll?
The doll mentioned by the monstrous bird is not a doll at all. The monstrous bird is just an orphan adopted by Succubus' father. Due to the monstrous bird has been bullied by another adopted daughter for a long time. Then she was abandoned by adopted daughter. That's why she imagined herself as a victim in the tale of Bird in a Cage. After the adopted daughter is dead, the ragged doll became new means that the monstrous bird feels happy about the death of adopted daughter. As for the succubus, she just wants to take back the doll she should take back. It seems that both of them are badly sick. It's time for them to take medicine.
It seems that we have investigated all incidents so far. We are so smart. Oh yeah, Yahoo! Okay, let's call it today, and fuck off DM.
Ah, yes?
Yes, I mean you, Desire Melodis.
Truth and inference. Interesting. See you.